What is going on, everybody? What is going on? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ratserato, and welcome back to the channel. Today is part 4 of this series that I'm drawing. As you can see on the thumbnail, I've seen this image across the internet. I thought it was pretty cool. I've also seen one that has a bullet in the mouth. And what I'm doing is I'm utilizing both images because the one with the bullet in the mouth, or the round, the cartridge, if I want to speak correctly, has a bit more detail in the lips. So I'm utilizing the detail from the cartridge image for the lips, and then I'm utilizing the detail with the money in the mouth because the money has a lot of detail. So I'm hoping I get this right. But today I'll be focusing on the lips and the detail in the lips to try to bring the lips out to life. I'm not going to really be focusing too much on the teeth area. It's not necessary. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So lips, they look good. There's still some brush marks or pencil strokes that I got to get deep within the dark shaded area. So I got to focus on that, and then, try to make that as black as possible. I'm guessing from what it looks like, from what you guys can see, it looks pretty dark. But for me, let me see if I can increase a little bit of that. Yeah, that might be a little bit better. So I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. Let me make sure that the visuals here are clear. Now they are clear. Okay, so as you can see there, the detail, like along here, you can still see the pencil strokes, the charcoal strokes. So I got to make that as black, and then start drawing in the detail on the outer portion of the lips. Again, to bring that out, to start making it look like lips, and then focus on the highlights on the top here. And so that'll be about an hour's worth of work today. And that's about it. So before I start, I'd like to talk about real quick actually, you know what? I'll just talk about it while I'm drawing. How about that? Let me see if this music is good. Yeah, I don't think we need it for now. So, all right. So I'm sure you guys have seen that unfortunate incident with the airline, the plane and the helicopter, the Black Hawk helicopter that crashed in Washington, which I just find to be a bit disturbing because how does that happen? How does that happen in today's modern society? With all the technology that we have, on these aircrafts, I'm sure many of you have been on planes, and, before you board your seat, you look at the left side and you try to peek into the cabin, right? To see who's your pilot. You're hoping it's a man. Right. So, and then you look in and all you see is a dashboard filled with lights, right? Like, with all that technology, how does this happen? This is why, I can't wait for the black box to be, disclosed to the public, which I don't see how they're going to do that. I'm hoping because Trump's in office, that he does release that information. And hopefully this wasn't some sort of, dry run terrorist attack, and because that would be extremely unfortunate. You know, God bless all those people who perished on that flight, man. That's like my biggest fear, man. Getting on a plane, I hate it because you just never know. It's stuff like this that just bothers the hell out of me, man, to be honest with you. Like, because you just never know. Anything could happen. Any dumb situation like this, right? Like, look how dumb this is. This has got to be either a colossal failure on the FAA for either not wanting the pilot, which I'm sure, I mean, I can't see why they wouldn't. Or why didn't the pilot pull up? Or, you know, isn't there some sort of like radar technology that the pilots have that they can see what's in front of them? I'm sure you can't really see. I mean, even though I think the helicopter had these, you know, blinking lights, and I'm sure the helicopter saw the plane, which I did hear something. They were trying to radio some transmission or something like that about the flight, about the plane. And why didn't this Black Hawk pull up or, you know, get out of the line of sight of this aircraft is beyond me. Who was on that plane, right? Who was on that plane that they didn't want to be around any longer? That's the question. Who was on the plane? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. But boy, is this a massive, massive, colossal failure. Either this was a colossal failure or it was meant to happen. One of the two. Colossal failure or it was meant to happen. There's no other way. And that's what's scary. Like, honestly speaking, that's the scary part. And then to top it off, CNN has the audacity to imply that it was Trump's fault. Which, you know, how is this Trump's fault, right? CNN has the audacity to imply that it's Trump's fault. Not that I watch CNN. I don't watch any mainstream news. I don't watch Fox, CNN, MSNBC, ABC. I don't watch any of those mainstream news outlets. I get my information, honestly, from other sources. Hopefully you guys do the same. Because as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, these news outlets are for low information type people. If you're watching the news and you're getting your information from Fox News or CNN, that's just, it's for people who, I like to call them the sheep. That's all. You're just sheep if you're watching these people on daytime television. Yeah. I don't want to offend anybody, but maybe it's time that you wake up and start getting your information from, you know, I guess by doing a little bit of research, following some, you know, whoever it is that's honest as can be, have multiple sources, have multiple people that you watch, so that way you can kind of, you know, have these checks and balances, I guess. You know, don't just watch all right wing shit. You know, you got to watch some that's in the middle, some that's on the left, you know, and then you'll be able to kind of decipher, you know, what's real or what you want to be is believable. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't just stick to one group because I don't think that's to your benefit at all, you know? And I remember when, you know, I remember when I used to watch daytime news religiously during the first term when Trump was in office from 2016. I was a religious Fox News watcher. Couldn't tell me anything else, right? And I remember guys like Sean Hannity was big at some point. I remember like watching him. That's where I got my news from. And I trusted him. I trusted Sean Hannity because I didn't have any other source at the time, right? I don't think media at the time was as blatantly corrupt as it is now and misleading as it is now. And so I trusted them. I thought they were going to, you know, they were feeding us the right information until I realized that in 2017, when Sean Hannity started talking about indictments and how people were going to jail and, you know, we got them now, hooray, hooray, get behind the movement because everybody's getting locked up. And I was like, hold on a second. Just because an individual is indicted, it doesn't mean that they're going to prison. You can indict a ham sandwich, okay? You still have to prove guilt. And when no one was indicted, you know, maybe one or two guys, right, on the left, and that's because they got caught doing something criminal, I realized then, I said, this is all BS. All of this is BS. And I stopped watching it. And I found my sources on YouTube, and believe it or not, man, it was some really, really good sources on YouTube that speak the truth. I don't see how these news outlets today are still in business. Again, I don't see how people watch them. They lie on a daily basis. And if you're a conservative, you know, and you're still watching Fox News, man, I already know what's coming out of your mouth, what talking points are coming out of your mouth if we were to ever have a discussion on politics or news, current media. I already know if you're a Fox News, you know, supporter. Same thing when it comes to like CNN. I already know. Like if you're a CNN watcher, I already know what you're going to say. Most likely you hate Trump, obviously, and you have Trump derangement syndrome and, you know, everything he does is bad, blah, blah, blah. That's why I stopped watching him. So with all that being said, I hope that we can get the right, you know, the right story. And I hope that Trump is, you know, is going to do what he has to do to get the information out, you know. We shall see what's going to happen. But yeah, CNN, of course, you know, let's blame Trump. They got to stay alive. So they got to say the most egregious things, you know, to stay afloat. And for those of you that don't know, like, all of these networks are all owned like by the same. Fox owns CNN or CNN owns Fox, whatever. They're all owned by the same people. It's all BS. Like I watch Tucker now, only because I think Tucker's sort of light. But I remember there was a time where I didn't like Tucker. I remember that. I remember there was a time where I didn't like him, man. And I think maybe Tucker finally woke up and was like, this is crazy. I got to get out of here. I don't know. Sometimes I think that they're all BS, but you got to watch. But yeah, man, so sad. So sad that these people were coming back from a game. Apparently there were I think it was a gymnastics team or something like that. They were coming back. What a mess. Something along those lines. I wasn't following it like too closely, but that's why I hate planes. You know, and it's not like I think I'm going to crash or anything like that, because I don't think like when I'm on a plane, like I don't think I'm going to, the plane itself is going to crash. I just think that, it's the stupidity of others. All right. So I'm going to turn on this music because now I got to get busy and I need to focus. So let's rock and roll. Spread your love. And hear what I'm saying now. Spread your love.
I met you at the wrong time. Then you caught me on that one night. Girl, I wanna know how this thing get out of my control. Zip line into your timeline. Hey, that body don't lie. I didn't care for the hype, yeah. But when I saw you tonight, ooh, girl, you know just what you're doing. I'll go 1,000 miles to show you that I'm right for your love. Hey, keep breaking necks when you passing them by. Make sure they know that you taking love in your vibe. Let's be forever tonight, and I will let you make up your mind. But I can't wait. Where you coming over? Let me be your chauffeur. Baby, I will keep on calling you love till you do the same. Let me take it over. Drive it like a chauffeur, like a chauffeur. Let me drive that. Yeah, I can't recall when you came through that door, yeah. Glowing like a headlight, independent all the way, got her bread right, yeah. Hard to ignore, sexy body make a jaw hit the floor. Won't you come over now? Just let me hold you down. Nothing else matching your type, nothing else matching your type, yeah. Oh, I feel the magic in the air. And when you give me a taste, I swear. When you give me a taste, let me take it over. Drive it like a chauffeur. I will let you make up your mind, but I can't wait. When you coming over, let me be your chauffeur. Baby, I will keep on calling you love till you do the same. Let me take it over. Drive it like a chauffeur, like a chauffeur.
You already know that's coming out delicious. Y'all see that? We're not even done yet. We're not even close to being done yet. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the base. Like it's just looking like what it's looking like. Dope as hell. Let's continue. I'm not going to get gassed and wind up messing this shit up on a live. So, but yeah, it's amazing when you start adding, you know, obviously the highlights and all that, and the, you start coloring the teeth and the specular highlights and the lips and all that good stuff. Like it's going to look pretty incredible. Did I mention yesterday that I'm back up to 225 on the bench after 10 years, 10 plus years? Yeah, definitely over 10 years. What am I talking about, 10 years? When I was 30 years old, I tore my pec on the bench doing 405. And I remember that day vividly. I went into the gym. I was amped up. I remember taking, what was the name of that drink that had damn, I'm really trying to remember. It was like a speed stack type of drink. And it had this this chemical in it that Hydroxycut used to have back in like the 90s. Damn, I forget the name of it. Ephedrine, duh. So I was taking this drink that had ephedrine in it, and Hydroxycut, when it first came out, it was like a wonder drug, right? I mean, I was lean back then, and I remember going to this gym in the afternoon, and I just went straight from one plate to 2 plates. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to waste any time. Let's just throw on 4 plates and let's get busy. Yeah. And then I tried to do it by myself at the same time also. And I was feeling so damn good that as soon as I took it off the rack and I went to lower it, that's when it happened. As soon as I lowered it. And I tried to lower it nice and slow, and I was trying to see if I can get my 1 rep max in. I was feeling hella strong back then. And it just tore right off the bone. I heard it. I heard it like in my body. You know what I mean? Like you hear the pop. It just snaps. And it wasn't like it was it wasn't like a hurtful type of experience, but more like a shock that you felt something detach from an area in your body. And you're like, oh shit, like what is that? At that moment, what happened was I actually finished the rep, and that was the problem. I actually finished the freaking rep, and that's when I felt it completely tear off because there was nobody there. And I was so embarrassed that this happened that like I didn't want to call for help. Stupid me, right? So I go to the you know, obviously the doctors, and that was it. I tore my pec. And the doctor asked me if I was a professional athlete at the time, and I was like, no, I'm not. And he says, well, then surgery is really not, you know, you don't really have to go under the knife. You know, it's not mandatory. You can live with this. Like your pec will adjust. It's going to take some time, but it'll just look weird. You know, you're gonna have like a missing, sunken in like type of left pec. And at the time, I should have just I should have said like, "What are you talking about? Like, we're gonna repair this," but I didn't, and I followed his instructions, and that was it. I had a torn pec, and after that, I remember trying to go back, but I just never ever went back to benching. And not because I couldn't, I was just afraid. I was afraid that once it healed, like I remember I didn't go to the gym for about a year. And then after that, I came back and I felt pretty good. And I just always felt weird doing any sort of press movements. The way my muscle on my left side, I just felt strange, you know? So I said, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. And I just stopped going to the gym. 12 years. For 12 freaking years, I didn't hit the gym. I was disgusted. Disappointed in myself for being a retard in the gym. And you know what? I'll never make that mistake again. However, yesterday, I've been building up this momentum for the last 3 years, like really, really being safe. And I said, you know what? I think it's time. I've been training for 3.5 years now straight, dieting, you know, during the springtime, getting lean, putting on, and then during the, you know, winter, putting on maybe 10 pounds, 10 to 12 pounds. And I've been consistent for the last 3.5 years. And my strength obviously, you know, kept getting better and better and better. So me feeling a bit confident yesterday, I wound up doing it. I wish I could just put the video up and show you, but I'm not really too familiar with OBS and I don't want to mess this up and touch it. But I did it. I did it good. I probably, and I did it by myself. And I probably could have got, I would say, 2 more reps. So I'm really excited, right? I'm 160 pounds. And at 225, not bad for a 52-year-old, okay? So I think, honestly, this summer, it's gonna look completely different. I think the physique is gonna look a lot better. I think I'm gonna look a lot fuller. Because I've made some mistakes in the past, and now I know how to correct them. So, yeah, it's gonna look definitely delicious. So let's get back to drawing. Stop talking nonsense. Yeah, but 225, not bad. So I'm gonna stick with that range until I'm comfortable. I'm gonna stay there, right, until I can get 10 reps, 10 to 15 reps, and that's how I'm not gonna go past 225. Because that's like damn near PR, okay, for me. So until I get to 10 to 15 reps, I'm not going up in weight at all. I'm just going to stay there. All right. And so, yeah, let's get back to these luscious lips and these beautiful, yeah, I kind of like the crooked teeth, to be honest with you, too. Like, I'm not mad at the crooked teeth. Like, I think the crooked teeth is cool because it's like real, you know, instead of drawing like, I don't know, perfect teeth. This is like what you would see in real life. Like 99% of American women have teeth like this, you know? All right. Let's continue. What are y'all listening to? Who am I kidding? Who am I kidding to be looking at the screen without my glasses? You You know you can't see anything, but yet you insist on not wearing your glasses. It's a big ass top lip, right? So good though. I like it. This is gonna go up that way. We're only gonna get a little bit of this peeking out over here, so there's no reason.
Spread your love and hear what I'm saying now. Spread your love and hear what I'm saying now.
All right, if you're watching the stream, so if you're watching the stream, you can communicate like this. And you can type like on that box where it says like comment or something like that, and then I can actually see your comment right on the chat. So you can say hi and all that good stuff, and I can see it. Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to get my aunt to watch the live stream. The conversation is pretty funny. I don't think she has the YouTube app downloaded on her phone, so I guess the link that I sent her is not working. By the way, this machine right here, fantastic. It's an electric eraser. It's not what you think it is. It's not that. No. That's for the drawing. Coming out pretty good. I will say that the teeth obviously were pretty simple, but the lips, I'm going back and forth like with both images, and like I think it might just be a bit easier for me to get just to focus on one image as opposed to trying to get the detail from the lips in image number 2, and then, you know, whatever. Aside from that, look, it's looking pretty good. I do like the crooked teeth. I was gonna make them straight, but in the world of perfection, in the world where, you know, people in general are chasing perfection, I'm going to leave the teeth nice and crooked because I hate when I see things that are just AI-ish. You know what I mean? Like, I hate that. So I like the teeth like this, and yeah. The money is going to be pretty interesting when I draw the money. I don't know if it's going to be that difficult. I guess I just got to use a harder charcoal pencil to get those fine lines in that $100 bill that she has in her mouth. So that should be pretty good. But once I get the $100 bill, like all detailed and everything, all detailed up, it's fairly over after that. After that, it's just about, putting in some skin texture, some pause, evening out the skin, getting the lips to be a bit more on the cracked side as opposed to it looking nice and smooth the way it is now. I started off on the left side, as you can see, like right over here. I started off there, and then I got bored. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I started focusing on the lips, so I'll get to it. I don't have anywhere to go. I have all the time in the world. With that, guys, I've extended my time. It is an hour and 48 minutes. I'm going to have to end it here. I know it's sad. I know every single one of you, all one of you, that would only be my wife watching, does not want me to go, but I have to. I got to go eat. All right, guys. I will see you tomorrow, 6:30. Be here. Don't disappoint me. Come on. I need some views. Let's go. See you on the next one.